With North Melbourne going to the left of screen, no change to the two teams. North the hottest of favourites, and a free kick immediately going to North Melbourne for what must have been a centre square infringement, and McKernan gets the first kick of the match to fall forward. Scholl out after it. It eluded him. The handball from Paxman was good to Pike. Pike goes round the body to centre wing. Too far for Dent, and taken there by Rock. It wasn't Dent, by the way, it was Holmes. Rock inboard. King long to fall forward, and Carey being sandwiched there. Barker coming across, takes the mark, and it goes out short. Clayton's away at halfback, gives it off now. Bizzotto's provided some run for him.
And Bizzotto's kick into the middle of the ground is taken by Big Primus. Primus's kick towards full forward is a push out, but the umpire has seen that as going to North Melbourne. Archer takes the hand pass and then goes outside 50 metres to Rock. Rock gives the handball away. Laidley's kick towards centre wing. There's a bit of a contest here. Pike, good tackle. Down goes. Well, the umpire's picked the kick out. It may go to Simpson. Gee, that Shepherd was a bit severe. Good mark taken by Crocker. 50 metres from goal for North Melbourne. It's interesting when you see two players jostling like those two boys were. Simpson and Martin Pike. Umpire picks the free kick out to the North Melbourne player, and now the Kangaroos have a chance through Crocker to get the first goal of the game. Beautiful kick, magnificent kick by Crocker, straight through the centre. So Crocker kicks the first goal, his first, North's first, and they lead by 6 points.
Well, exactly the kind of start you need. I mean, they're heavily favoured, North, but they've got the first goal, and Crocker kicked 5 goals last week, and he's playing, he and Scholl are basically the two true full forwards, both playing out of the goal square. So a good start for North Melbourne and Crocker.
Kangaroos off the mark with that goal by Crocker. Primus wins the tap out. Centre square will be interesting with McKernan and Primus. Primus did very well last week against a bandy. Rumbotus, no free kick. Stevens off the ground to centre wing. Good stretch there by Freeborn in the front. Gives it off to Stevens. Lovely kick. Terrific build-up by North there. They've come out running, and a Scholl on the end of it. And suddenly, late in his career, he's become a goal kicker, Scholl. He's kicked 12 goals this season in 8 matches. It exceeds any other effort in any other year, and just gave that a little push at the end. Touch of a hook and a behind, but North starting well with a goal to Crocker, a behind to Scholl, Malloy to bring her back in.
Short kick is reasonably effective. Carter takes the mark, gets the hand pass to Pike. Pike goes out towards half-back, and the ball still kept in play by Primus. Now Laidley has the chance to get round onto his right foot, kicks it in short. Stevens. Roberts playing his 150th game to full forward. Good mark, Scholl again. See Capuano on the bench. McKernan not really into the play, but still they've got those players like Darren Crocker and Craig Scholl up on the forward line.
This was really the North played a zone defence, and although Fitzroy got out of the immediate area with 1 or 2 kicks, eventually the long kick back, Craig Scholl's direct opponent hadn't had time to cover, was able to get a leap at the mark and did take it.
Well, he kicks the goal, Craig Scholl. So he's now kicked 1-1 for North Melbourne. The Kangaroos lead by 13 points. Fitzroy are yet to open their account, and North is 2-1.
As we row with North, they really are prepared to kick it long and hard in that forward 50, and I think their marking forwards know that's where the ball's going to go, and really Scholl put his name on the ball and jumped at it, whereas the Fitzroy defence tended to watch him do it.
Scholl scoring the goal, and now another problem for Fitzroy. The second time in the first half a dozen minutes or so, a free kick out of the centre. Carey this time. Well, this is not the start the Lions wanted. It's certainly the one that Dennis Pagan did. Could Carey kick a long bomb from 52 metres? It's going to be right there, close. Great leap at the back from Danichenko, and pushed over for a behind. So what would be going wrong in that centre square, I wonder, for Fitzroy? That's 2 free kicks. Pike's got it. Only had 3 bounce downs in the centre square, and they've given away a couple.
Well, one was a boundary umpire that gave an indication there might have been too many players in the square. The second one was an infringement around that centre circle.
Roberts at the back. Holmes is in the front. Rocks kick, slewed off the side. Marked by Clayton. Plays on. Was it touched off the boot? Doesn't matter because Paxman's away. He should be able to do something constructive into the centre. Not a great kick. Good trap, though. Taken by Hawking. Left footer wide to Barker. Sets him up well. Barker goes on, can straighten the body. Then goes to fall forward with a poor kick. Archer tries to trap it with a half volley. Rombotis. First tackle looked a little bit high. The snap there from Cassidy across the face. And it's a behind. Fitzroy on the board. That's Brad Cassidy. He's one of 5 players that were picked up in the November draft last year that are playing tonight. 5 of the 6 are playing tonight. And the pre-draft pick, Mickey Dwyer's also out there.
Gee, dropping the mark there was Simpson. It was pretty straightforward stuff. Pike gathers the crumbs and then goes with the second ordinary kick within a minute. The other one was from Barker when they had possession on the far side of the ground. That kick is a beauty. Precision for Stevens. Stevens' little pass is okay. The marker's dropped there by Denel Chico. He goes after it again, but he can't recover his position. And the ball spills over for a boundary throw in. And Jason Denel Chico would be disappointed not grabbing that football. Minimum temperature tonight, expected 10 degrees currently. A reasonably pleasant 13 degrees. Kick forward by Rock. Left half forward. Mark is taken for Fitzroy by Clayton. Gets the hand pass to McCarthy. McCarthy asks Holmes to sit underneath a bit of a hospital hand pass. Now they get it back to Clayton. Clayton another shocking kick. So that's 3 in a minute and a half. They must improve their disposal skills. Holmes gets the ball to Hawking. Hawking not a bad left footer. This is a beautiful kick by Hawking. They've got a chance here, the Lions. And the mark is taken by Barker. And Barker was one of the culprits in the first session of 3 poor kicks. So he can atone. He kicks long to the square. There's 2 men there. Mellington couldn't take the mark. The ball spills over for a rush behind. And umpire Chris Mitchell having a chat to Wayne Carey as John McCarthy shakes his head in disbelief or whatever. So obviously something happening back there at centre half forward for North Melbourne. Roberts marks, gets the ball away to Bell.
Bell goes in Carey's direction. McCarthy with him. Good mark, Carey. So on top early. Onto the left quickly. Lovely kick to Laidley. Inside 50. Goes for goal. Doesn't kick many. He's got that. That's a worry, Lee, when Dean Laidley can drift down unopposed and slot one through from 45.
Yes, they've just come right out of the blocks north as form would have dictated. The only danger really north have got is sometimes when you start this well in the first few minutes of the game, so you subconsciously can just tend to relax and think the game is already won when there's still 3.5 quarters to go.
Well, Fitzroy, a real chance to get the ball away from the centre. This is Carter. Goes long. And is that an infringement? No, the umpire has given the all clear there for a behind. The kick just a little inaccurate. So Fitzroy 3 behinds. Trail North Melbourne 3-2. King for the Kangaroos. Comes to the members' side. Looking out here for McKernan. Oh, magnificent leap and mark. Terrific performance. Big man, big mark. The kick slews off the side of his boot a little bit, in towards the middle of the ground. It's taken by Blakey, a former Fitzroy player, now Fairley. Kicks to the 50-metre line, but taken away here by Clayton. Clayton's kick to the wing is okay. Johnson has the football. He's got 2 players running in support. Now the ball is with Dent. Dent's kick to centre-half forward. Mellington probably spoiled his own teammates there. Rombotis, a lovely slippery hand pass, and Cassidy goes in and gets the Lions' first goal. Gee, magnificent little handball there from Johnny Rombotis. Fitzroy won 3. They trailed North 3-2, but the Kangaroos, they got the 3 goals pretty easily. Maybe the Lions on the way back.
Well, it's been very much a game of keepings off to this point of the game. It's a matter of whichever team can hold possession from defence forward to score. But really, the work from by Roblatus at the bottom of the pack here, after a couple of sloppy possessions, worked his way through. Lovely quick hand pass under pressure, and Cassidy onto his left foot to goal.
Fitzroy 1-3. They trail North 3-2. Cassidy's goal after a superb handball from Rombotis. Blakey over the top. Robert Scott pushes forward. Carey's give is good. Rock takes his man on. Shrugged away. A high tackle goes to full forward. Close, hits the post. It's a good kick. A very good kick from someone who's not noted as being able to cover a lot of territory with the ball. 3-3-1-3. Malloy, who was fantastic against Fremantle early last week. Short to Barker at the back pocket. Johnson had the fly, couldn't take it that time on Freeborn, was out on the full and going against Fitzroy. Now this was a great grab from McKernan.
And just for variation, he's actually dropping back into defence in the early part of the game. Normally he goes forward.
Primus. Janilchenko. Scholes quick kick to full forward. Mark taken by Paxman in front of Crocker. Little give to Malloy. Malloy, who played this role so well at the Whitton Oval last week, to McCarthy, ex-Kangaroo. He chips badly. That's a terrible kick. They might get away with it. Dent. Right option off the ground in close quarters. Laidley letting it go out of play. So McCarthy really got away with that. The ball was able to get forward about 50 metres, and that's one-sided. It is a national sports book. They took one bet of $16,000 on North Melbourne earlier in the week to win 1,000. And it was reported tonight that somebody, obviously a wag, put $14 on North today to win 60 cents. An official bet. So they can sit back and watch this with a cup of tea and not have any worries at all.
Well, if
not that
they do win, it beats bank interest, doesn't it?
It
In 3 hours you make.
And if they lose,
6%.
Robbo, $4 is not going to make a big difference.
No, I'm talking about the bigger bloke. The
Oh,
16
yes.
to win 1,000. Anyway, the football has still got a long way to go. North Melbourne are in front at this stage. Fitzroy trying to force it forward. Some good work done there by Carter. And now Hawking tackled by Fairley. The ball spills over for a throw-in.
Using off the ball, this tactic of McKernan going forward rather than doing the ruck work. Paxman is actually picking him up, and I think it's good for Fitzroy. Primus is staying on the ball to try and get a bit of dominance out of the actual ruck contest.
Well, he gets his right hand to it, and the ball went down to Bamford, then Johnson, hand pass, Rombotis. Looks a very skillful player. Mick Dwyer's not bad either. The kick wide, Bamford, got some space, straightens up, goes for goal. The Lions have got their second on the board.
Two 3 to 3-3. Bamford's goal. So Fitzroy kicked the last couple. Bamford went to ground. Scott worried him out of it. King gets forward. Dwyer has to take a couple on. Gives it up to Roberts. Back to Scott. Scott with a flow to the full forward, but Crocker in the front spot takes the mark. Michael Noonan, coach of Fitzroy. I was lucky enough to see a lot of him as a player in Adelaide when I was growing up. And he was a wonderful handballer and very courageous rover. Played in premierships at Sturt and Norwood. Crocker's kick. Close, might have just missed. He has. So that's a pretty poor miss, actually, from about 35 metres out. Dennis Pagan. 3-4 to 2-3. 7-point game. Malloy short. OK. McCarthy. He is the one player, Lee, that we talked about that's played 100 games that's out there for Fitzroy tonight. Clayton, well, they're flirting with danger here against a powerful North Melbourne opponent as Crocker goes and makes them pay. You're going to chip it, you've got to chip it a bit quicker than that. 4-4 to 2-3. It took forever to get there, didn't it?
Well, the chip's the point. As soon as you lift the ball, players can make many yards to get there by the time it comes down. And if you're chipping the ball and setting your teammate up underneath the ball in the defensive area, really inevitably, if the opposition forward team gain possession, they've got a very easy shot at goal, and that's exactly what transpired.
John Longmire, a well, despondent onlooker for North Melbourne. Let's hope he's back into the fray very quickly. Now, Primus does well. Strong play by the ruckman. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson very, very wide. Too far in the finish for Darren Holmes. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in just inside the 50-metre area. Maybe Chris Johnson there would have been better advised to try and put it in front of the square.
And we see here Primus against Roberts. This is the type of situation where Fitzroy should be able to make something.
Well, he gets it down to the front, and the snapshot by Carter is way offline, out on the full. Free kick for North Melbourne.
I think Fitzroy is showing a few other clubs how you have to approach playing against McKernan, the North Melbourne tactic. I think they're doing that very well.
So the free kick to be taken back there by Ian Fairley, one of the real stalwarts in the North Melbourne team. His kick lands outside 50 metres. McKernan taken by Dwyer. He can't break away. Roberts over the top. It's all locked up, and the umpire will bounce. About 60 metres from the Fitzroy goal. North Melbourne lead 4-4. Fitzroy at 2-3. The goals for Fitzroy from Bamford and Cassidy. For North Melbourne, Crocker's kicked 2. Scholl and Laidley have kicked 1 each.
Roberts, Primus. Roberts won that time. Dent. Good tackle. Quick kick away by Simpson to centre wing. McKernan taps it on beautifully. Stevens interfered with no free kick. Denelchenko back to McKernan, who gets a quick kick away with some distance. Bell running with it. Scholl's handball excellent. Freeborn's kick not so good. Going wide, close to the boundary line. Malloy, did he touch it? It's out on the full. Free kick to Fitzroy. Gave a little shove there, Malloy, but not penalised. Malloy wide to half-back. Paxman a target. Tap forward by Scholl. Bell's handball didn't go very far. Simpson now with Scott. 48 metres out, goes to full forward. Carey coming across the front. The punch from Malloy, okay. Denelchenko can't get it to Carey. Taken by Malloy. Carey's tackle. Scholl, left foot round the body. Another one, I think. Free kick coming back. So, free kick to Fitzroy. And Malloy gets it in 50 metres, it looks like, against North Melbourne. So Fitzroy let off the hook because Scholl's kick was good. It's 4-4 to 2-3.
Jared Malloy decides to go wide. Dent over the top. Paxman runs, crashes through the Bell tackle, then gets the handball very well. In the finish, it's taken forward by Dent again. It's wide. Now the chance for Barker. Barker's handball goes back to Dent. Dent's kick to full forward. Mellington in front. If there's 2 up for North, there must be a spare Fitzroy player, but no Crummers there. Now there's a chance. Oh, the goal surely is kicked in the finish by Rombotis. So the Fitzroy fans who have come here tonight have got something to cheer about. Their team, they gave away 3 fairly simple goals to North Melbourne early, but they've kicked 3 back in reply.
Well, their defence is certainly not scared. They're coming out and they're running to make position. Barker's come right up from the last line of defence to help support the ball through, and eventually, because they had the numbers flooding forward with the ball, they've eventually got that quick kick and the goal.
4-4, 3-3. Rombotis' goal. McKernan, good tap forward. Now Dent had it taken away now. The handball, he was put under pressure. Rock goes to full forward. Crocker. Pretty good attempt. McCarthy should balance up now and deliver. Kicks the ball to centre wing. Not a good kick again by McCarthy. Taken by Rock over the top. This is King. He feints a handball and then delivers a good one to full forward. Denelchenko. Crocker coming back. Paxman's got momentum. Crocker traps it well. Didn't keep it in the end. I think it hit the behind post and be a boundary throw in. Left forward pocket. 4-4, 3-3. And those Lions supporters, and it's not a bad crowd here. It's a vast stadium. A lot more than 5,000 that turned up last week at the Whitten Oval to see Fitzroy win for the first time in 22 weeks of footy. McCarthy and Carey. Simpson, was the tackle high? I think it was. He'll get a free kick. An enthusiastic tackle, but you've just got to be spot on here, don't you, when you...
I think it is, Bruce. If you tack the ball hard and you're the one going at the ball, half the time you'll end up getting a high tackle. It really, as it should in our game, I think it rewards the player that goes hard at the ball, and that's what Simpson did then.
Simpson a kick from 15 metres out. He's hooked it. He might have just squeezed this in. This is close. It's a goal. So North move along to 5-4 to 3-3.
Well, certainly the game plan of Fitzroy, they're pushing all their players up in defence and hoping to be able to run the ball forward. And they've succeeded a couple of times. They've kicked 3 goals, so they've scored reasonably. But against a forward line like North, it's a question of stopping North Melbourne from kicking a very big score.
Well, Primus got the ball out of the centre. Dent combines with Bamford. Bamford's kicked to full forward. Mellington couldn't take the mark. In went Hawking. Mellington fighting hard with Fairley. Just forces it clear. Now Cassidy, beaten for it by King. Bell goes in hard. Mellington is there. Taken away by Scott. Now Stevens off the left foot. Kicks towards half forward. There's a bit of tugging and pulling there. The umpire had the whistle in his mouth. Let play go on. Mark Roberts can't get there. Neither can Robert Scott. Well done, Pike. And well done by Dent in there, which was pretty tough football. Pike gets the handball over the top. Away goes Paxman. Long kick by Stephen Paxman to the square. Up too early. At the back may have been Darren Holmes giving away the free kick. And the umpire very quickly on the spot has awarded the free kick to Archer. Archer goes short to Martin.
Martin at halfback kicks the ball to centre wing. He was looking for Danilchenko. Good, strong mark in the front. Taken by Barker. Fitzroy impressing early, despite the fact North lead by a couple. Barker to half forward. His target Rombotis. At the back Stevens. That's going to be a pivotal duel tonight. King, nice kick, just controlled it out to Laidley, out wide at halfback. What a fine player Dean Laidley's been since coming across from West Coast. Inboard to Freeborn. Freeborn's handball good. Stevens running away. Delivers in the direction of Carey. Could get a good bounce. He does. Will he go left or right? Goes to the pocket with a beautiful kick. That's a wonderful kick from Carey to find Roberts. At about 48 metres.
And you're right, Bruce. I mean, really, just the modern footballer kicks so well on his non-dominant side, and really, that was just a beautifully precise kick. Waited well enough for Robert to run into the line of the ball. Didn't give the defender any chance at all to spoil.
He plays around the middle of the ground for North. Rocks had 9 possessions, Scott 4, and Anthony Stevens 5.
Kicks from 50, Roberts. Great looking kick. He's hammered it home. Isn't that a great bow to your string, Lee, when you can go from 50 and kick it so confidently in goal? 6-4-3-3.
Yeah, it's not a high percentage kick. I've always subscribed to the theory that not too many goals are actually kicked from the 50-metre line. They're much more often a long points, but certainly that was one occasion where it was a 50-metre kick, got through easy and remained on line and straight.
I meant string to the bow, I think. That's a bow to the string.
Well, there's a bloke named Mark Stevens. I'll have something to say, Bruce, in the Sunday paper. He doesn't miss much. 6-4 to 3-3, North lead. Dent was after the football. Kicked forward by Stevens. Laidley had to stand there. Did it well. Bell off his left foot. Gets the kick away to half foot. Oh, gee whiz. North Melbourne player will be in a bit of strife, but he got up on... Is it Anthony Rock? Well, he was able to stand up in the finish from that marking contest. Bamford, then Barker. Now it's into full forward, and it's Holmes with the football. Cassidy was in that exchange of hand passes. Holmes goes straight to the front of the goals, gives away a bit of ground, but it certainly opens it up for Chris Johnson. And I think in one of those under-18 finals, this young fella kicked a bag of goals in a grand final here a couple of years ago. Very, very talented player. Chris Johnson from 50 metres runs close to the man on the mark, hooks the kick and scores a behind. So the Lion fans are out in good numbers here. David King kicks the ball to himself. One bounce, didn't quite come back to him, but he was able to gather his composure. Now the ball is with Laidley. Laidley runs away from right half back. His kick in towards half forward has been quite straightforwardly marked by Carey. Handball away to Scott. Scott to full forward. Crocker and Malloy. Crocker applies the tackle all right. The ball spills. Still North Melbourne forwards are working overtime. Crocker underneath all that. And it was well done in the finish by the North forwards. A couple of times Fitzroy looked as though they may have broken away. But it's held up only 20 metres from North Melbourne's goal.
Gee, they might have been lucky too, Robbo. Fitzroy, a couple of holding the balls look close. Carey can't quite bash his way through or crash his way through Bozzotto. Well, that's holding the footy. Originally, the tackle first looked a fraction high, but Rock got him.
Yes, you're right, Bruce. That previous passage of play, I suspect the umpire a couple of times there may have almost given the holding the ball decision. It's amazing when the next one comes, it's sort of there consciously, it's in their mind, and he had no hesitation in
taking the ball off,
which was, I think, a correct decision.
The blood rule for Rock, is it?
So hasn't the holding the ball decision changed the last week or two?
Let's have a look. So, no, the tackle was good. Tackle was good. So Rock to come from the ground. Yes, Malloy and Paxman both looked gone, didn't they, previously? And
but the tackling, the last couple of weeks, it's just back to what it was probably last year. It's which is probably a good thing. I think that was too hard on the player with the ball in the first month of the year.
So Stevens substituting for Rock and kicks from about 25 metres out directly in front. They like it behind the goal. Gee, you're stretching it a bit, but what if you're going for the Bob Pratt record of 150 and you had to come off with a little nick in the ear? Wouldn't you be disappointed?
Don't you think he looked really, really dirty? You could see a goal just easy, couldn't he?
Absolutely.
Yes, it's always nice to have a goal against your name, even though it's a team game. We all know that, but it's nice to have a goal against your name. And when you've earned that goal from 25 metres out, yeah, it would have been nice to have kicked it and then come off.
Well, Lee, you had about 915 or something, didn't you? You poor thing.
Yeah. But what a great return there by Anthony Stevens also. He's had a serious knee injury, and he really is an integral part of this North Melbourne team. Another free kick in the centre. King took the hand pass from McKernan. Now Blakey, kick smothered. McKernan, a chance, an air shot. Now Primus gets the handball to Cassidy. Away go Fitzroy. This is Rombotis again, shooting from about 50. Covers the players on the goal line, but he's inaccurate on this occasion and registers another behind.
He did then what a lot of players do. He ran to the 50-metre line and kicked when he really could have broken the 50-metre line and kicked from 40 metres, and much easier shot than 40 than 50.
King wide, looking for Fairley at half-back. Strong mark. Played his 200th a couple of weeks ago against West Coast. Then to centre wing. Carey is having a big impact on this game. Push, oh, that's wonderful, Carey. He rode it beautifully. Gave it to McKernan. And is there a free kick coming back to Carey afterwards? Gee, Lee, I enjoyed that, the way he was able to shrug the tackles off and work with the body almost and use it to his advantage.
Yeah, it was very, very strong play, wasn't it, really? I mean, McCarthy has actually done quite well on Carey once or twice, so it'll be an interesting duel on McCarthy, next North Melbourne player. But, yeah, just bounced off and slung Carey after he kicked the ball. Gets good distance, McKernan the target. Should have got a free over the shoulder. Archer trying to break a line, hooks the ball straight into the arms of Simpson. Well, North are really opening up now. They're 7-4 to 3-5. Simpson. Yeah, right. Should have been a free kick to McKernan, but it doesn't matter much because North have got that end-up kick for goal from 10 metres. And that one's an even better shot by Simpson.
from the same angle and the same distance. He snuck the other one in that one straight through. 8-4 to 3-5.
And Simpson, one of that sort of younger brigade who's emerged this year just to really become, he's looking a pretty good player just to supplement the established North Melbourne players. I think he's been pretty impressive in that support role, Simpson. He's kicked 2 goals already tonight.
It's amazing, isn't it? Archer's playing in the back pocket, and it's his kick that finishes with Simpson. Archer probably, if he could have got clear, may have nearly kicked a goal himself from the back line. Armstrong not able to break clear. Johnson gets the handball out. Holmes in turn, wider still. Bamford, baby-faced. Can't get the handball into the clear. Anthony Stevens a little bit stronger. Anderson gets it back. Archer, handball is accurate. Blakey in trouble. King. Ball spills now for Fitzroy. Chance now for Bizzotto. Handball to Paxman. Can he outrun his opposition? He can. Handball. Carter, just as the siren sounds, he realised that the kick wasn't going to be legal. And at quarter time, North Melbourne, they kicked the first 3 goals. And they lead 8-4-52. Fitzroy at 3-5-23. 2 goals each for North Melbourne of Crocker and Simpson. Fitzroy are all singles.
North by 29 points at quarter time, 8-4 to 3-5. The Mitre 10 banner competition tonight. We'll be announcing the winner later in the telecast. That's the first one who'd like to see that. And then the Lion. And then the Kangaroo one. So they're the 3. What about that first quarter, Dipper?
Yeah, not bad by Fitzroy there, Bruce. And Michael Noonan's given these players a lot of positive thought there. He just said, as Barney would know, what Ginger would say, when they've got the ball, make sure you've got a man. And when they haven't got a ball, go out and find some space.
Thanks for that, Dipper. As we're about to start the second quarter on Friday Night Football. North 8-4, Fitzroy 3-5. Kangaroos to go to the right and Lions to the punt road end to the left of screen. Primus went early. McKernan won the tap. Johnson, high tackle out of the centre. Play on. Carter trying to get it clear. Bizzotto besieged under pressure. And the umpire's going to bounce the ball. North in pretty slick form in the first quarter. Chris Mitchell, Scott McLaren and David Ackland, the umpires. Chris Mitchell, the experienced one, with a lot of finals to his name, and State of Origin matches now. Tried to get away, Morton, I should say. Taken by Blakey. Blakey towards full forward. Malloy at the back. Good punch away. Attacking it hard, though. Now McCarthy to Paxman. Paxman swings the handball to Barker. Barker goes back to the back pocket. Good kick to Pike. Confident play by the Fitzroy defence. Pike under pressure. Was just dragged off it at the last moment, and it put enough pressure on him to force an ordinary kick, as we see Capuano, Bell and Denevchenko on the interchange now. So quite a different interchange bench for North at the start of the second term, with Armstrong now out there. Primus and Shoulder do the ruck work. Primus does win it. Lee Matthews has talked about that earlier tonight. Morton got into the action. Stevens over the top. It sits now for Armstrong at 50 metres. Brings it back in. Rock, it was a pretty tough bounce. Ball coming back towards Crocker. Well played, though, at the back by Malloy to push forward. Now Bamford is most impressive. Goes to Malloy. Laterally to Clayton. So good vision by Malloy. Clayton inboard. Good kick too to Dent. Dent has a look at an option or two. Decides against it. Now goes long.
Well, more importantly, they've hit their target on about 4 occasions there. That kick is very wide. Out there was Mellington. Now Cassidy. Hand pass. In a little bit of trouble there was Morton, but he got the hand pass away. Fairly. Air shot. Mellington. Well done. Handball wide. Chance now for Dent. Just gets his right foot to it only as far as Martin. Forces him to kick across the face. Finishes with Freeborn. Now Laidley. Laidley goes for the safety of the line and finds it. About 40 metres further from danger. It's at about left half forward for Fitzroy. There's their bench. And Brad Boyd in the background. Mick Dwyer, Anthony McGregor. And it might be Wharf, is it? The other one on the bench at the moment. 18 minutes left in the second term. Primus doing the ruck work. Number 40 is Clayton. He had his right ankle re-strapped during the quarter-time break and had quite a bit of attention to that area. He looks as though he's moving reasonably freely at the start of the second term.
Primus wins it clearly. Roberts onto it with him, Rombotis. Still Rombotis. Did a good job there to keep the ball in. Then the kick back. Laidley forces to the line. Finds it. So out of play about 45 metres from Fitzroy's goal. North this year beaten by Brisbane and West Coast. So they're unbeaten in Victoria, North Melbourne this year. They've won 6 out of 6 in Melbourne. It's been an impressive start to the season. Scott kicks the ball right into the heart of the centre square. Bizzotto and Rock. High ball. Barker. Can he get it to McCarthy? No, back now to Bizzotto. Bizzotto over the top to Bamford. Bamford to McCarthy. McCarthy balances up. Goes for distance to half forward. Millington went early. Did a good job to put Martin off. The tackle on Laidley was fierce and hard.
Well, if it's not a free kick to the North Melbourne player, why isn't he holding the ball? Blatant free kick to the North Melbourne player.
Looked high, didn't it?
But if it's not, Bruce, technically it should be a free kick to Fitzroy.
Holding the ball. Crowd getting involved. McKernan, Primus.
And I think Fitzroy have won this tactical battle. McKernan is back in defence doing the ruck work. It's the first time we've seen him do that for a few weeks. That Primus's ruck work has been so good that North Melbourne have been forced to push McKernan back, and Primus won the free kick in the ruck duel in that occasion against McKernan.
So 9 free kicks to 1 prior to that decision being made. So just the second free kick for Fitzroy. Primus's kick is very good. (4-5 to 8-4). He's promising, right? First time I've had a look at him this season. He's a good young one, isn't he?
Well, we mentioned earlier that he was so good in the ruck work against Roberts and the smaller North players that McKernan has been forced to go back. But even then, Primus got the front position and McKernan jumped over him, and a good free kick to Primus.
It's another infringement at the centre, and the free kick this time is with Fitzroy. Primus gets it out wide to Cassidy. Cassidy's kick is good. Dent has taken the mark. He's still too far out to score. Forced to go wide, but with accuracy finds Rombotis. Now Rombotis is the man on the mark, is about 52 metres from goal. So to take a sensational kick, he gets the handball away. This bloke can kick a football. Cassidy. Lovely long kick to the square. Oh, it bounced over. I doubt whether it was touched, but went onto the wrong side of the goalpost, through for a behind to Fitzroy. So they're challenging North Melbourne in the early part of the second term. North Melbourne haven't added to their quarter-time score. Fitzroy have kicked a goal and a behind.
King's able to really take advantage of the little one to himself and gets the ball to centre wing without any help from anybody else. Late call by the umpire. Oh, that was interesting. Scholl pushing out, and it took a long time for a reaction. Bamford now gets the ball at centre wing and kicks to half forward. Hawking was in the front spot. Comes down to Morton. His kick to the pocket. Johnson goes early. Blakey with him out of play. They're enjoying a good patch here, Fitzroy, aren't they?
Well, actually they are. They're playing with a little bit of confidence at least, and they're trying to give the ball to each other. It's taken a lot of possessions to get from end to end, but at least they've got North Melbourne off the bit a little.
8-4 to 4-6 is the right score here. McKernan and Primus. Primus again in the action. Archer. Holmes there, and it'll be a bounce about 25 metres from Fitzroy's goal. Body to body, the two big men. Primus being held on to. He's a bit unlucky that time. Dent got it to Johnson under pressure. Good tackle. Scott robbed him. And King, what he loves to do is charge away like a ball. Gets the centre wing.
There's some power in that, isn't there? Power running by David King. He's kicked to the 50-metre line, and out positioning his opponent, Carey, has taken a fairly good mark in the finish. McCarthy just completely out of position. Carey. Tremendous player, Wayne Carey. Yet to kick a goal. but he altered that right here. 50 metres out. Kicks with power. Magnificent kick. Goal to Carey. Well, when a lot of players struggle to get from 50, he made it look fairly simple.
I think that's just the kind of goal that Fitzroy aren't able to kick. The long driving kick from the wing into the forward 50, and basically it's just a one-on-one marking contest, and Carey just outread it, out-positioned McCarthy. Down the other end, Fitzroy have to get running goals. Their marking forwards really don't look like getting the ball.
So 9-4 plays 4-6. Still plenty of time left in the second quarter. Mark Roberts gathers the football, runs away from Dent. The kick towards half forward, nearly bashed clear by McCarthy, eventually bashed over the line by Paxman. And just playing the percentages there, the Fitzroy defenders, when possession may have been within their reach, they go for the safety of the boundary line. Leon Harris, one of Fitzroy's all-time good players, now on the coaching staff at Fitzroy.
Carey and McCarthy. Carey's handball out to Roberts was good. Roberts from 49. Across and through from behind. 9-5 now. North 4-6. Roberts goal in the first quarter from the 50 metres line. Malloy's kick okay to Pike. Back to Malloy. Nothing much gain. There's a bit of Fremantle about all this, isn't there? Back to McCarthy. To Clayton. You just can't afford one error here, and they've produced it.
And Scholl let him know, didn't he? Young Nick Carter.
And a 50-metre penalty. Yes, well, I mean, really, it's no use kicking straight to the opposition, but really then there was about 4 or 5 hand passes that weren't offensive hand passes. They were basically hand passes just for Fitzroy players under pressure, and then eventually Carter took on the tackler, and rightly North got the free kick for holding the ball.
Simpson kicks his third. So a good return for Adam Simpson, and Nick Carter will be disappointed. 10-5 to 4-6.
And one thing you always know in football, if you can lay successful tackles in your forward line, in your forward 50, almost inevitably a goal will result, either from the free kick or simply the turnover. Tackling in the forward line is just such an important part of the game, and North Melbourne have been rewarded a couple of times already. And Fitzroy, they can't mess around with the ball too much in that defensive 50.
Kangaroo fans, they've got plenty to cheer about. Their team leads 10-5 to 4-6. Plenty of goal kickers already in the North Melbourne team. 7 featuring from that point of view. And Carter, well, he'll be happy to get a couple of possessions quickly after that misdemeanor on the, well, the half-back line that led to an easy goal to Adam Simpson for North Melbourne. High over the top was Capuano. Now Dent gets it to Clayton. In turn to Bizzotto. Bizzotto goes wide. Very, very wide. Fairly indirect football. Laidley, Cassidy just slipped at the crucial stage. Laidley's hand pass. Roberts a little tap onto the advantage of Laidley. Made it a little bit difficult for him. Armstrong tackled by his counterpart number 14 in Bizzotto. And Bizzotto eventually taking it over. And a boundary throw-in will take place just forward of centre wing in North Melbourne's attacking half. They lead 10-5 to 4-6. And as we saw earlier, an expected temperature bottoming out at 10 degrees tonight. At presently around about 12 or 13 degrees. So a good night for football. Players will be well and truly warmed up by now. Dent for Fitzroy. Kick across his left shoulder to half forward, but a good mark taken by Ian Fairley. Standing his ground, he kicks in towards centre half back. That's a free kick, and it has been awarded to Scott. The advantage nearly picked off there by Archer, but it'll go back to Robert Scott, nearly at centre half back for North Melbourne.
Short to Blakey, who's got the job on Chris Johnson tonight. Then Blakey to Archer. Archer pushes wide. That was a good kick. Got to King, who's had a couple of dashing runs in this quarter. He just chips it and sets it for Scholl. Scholl kicks the ball to full forward. Fly from Simpson in the front. Pike takes Carey on. He's gone. Pike, that's holding the ball. No, it's going to be a bounce. Thought he had a chance. Took a long time to react to a handball and then got away with it. 25 metres out, North attacking, on top. They lead by half a dozen goals here. McKernan lays it down, was in the Armstrong direction. Rock got it out, Freeborn. Now Scott around the body to full forward. Crocker front spot, Malloy, good job, belted it away. Out to half-back, taken by Clayton's, had a lot of the football. Round the corner, wanting the boundary line at half-back, and helping it Hawking on its way. It'll be a boundary throw-in. Fairly on Hawking. And pretty good crowd here. Enjoying a free-flowing game. North, you'd think, would be on for a big score, and Fitzroy, when they've gone forward, have looked impressive at times. Armstrong's kick back to centre-half forward, McCarthy at the back. Simpson okay to Roberts. Normally kicks these, straightens the body, just misses. It's a good effort. His body was forced to the left, and he did straighten up pretty well. 10-6-4-6.
Jared Malloy to kick in for Fitzroy. Mark Roberts, 150 games, 124 goals in his career before tonight, and he's added to that by 125 goals in 150 games. Good mark taken by Capuano. Gee, you've got a fair side when you start the game with Capuano on the bench. Opportunity for them to break clear here. King, short pass. Oh, big mitts, hasn't he? Corey McKernan. Look at the football. Just so minuscule in his hands. A wobbly punt kick. Oh, top effort. That is a great mark. Taken by Darren Crocker. I don't think we've ever doubted the skills. Corey McKernan looking just as though there was a bit of luck involved there.
It is a great mark.
This is a terrific effort.
It's very hard to mark with your arms outstretched, because normally your elbows hit the ground and the ball will bounce out. So it was great strength in his arms to be able to cushion the blow with his elbows hit the ground and still hold the ball out.
Well, as we see there, he's kicked two. He should add. Goal umpire goes across, but it's a goal to North Melbourne.
To be a dangerous forward, as he did last week with his 5 against Richmond. He's got 3 tonight with a couple of behinds, and it's 11-8 to 4-7.
Beautiful long kick to the middle of the ground, but Archer has backed himself, coming away from his opponent, forced it forward. Anthony Rock, little kick, not bad. Carey, he should get the distance. It's a lovely kick from a standing start by Carey. He's got the goal. Yes. Carey's second goal. And again, the turnover in the middle of the ground, basically forced physically by Archer.
And another very good use of the ball by Rocky. He had a look up, there was nothing on in the goal square, and basically they're drifting right to left, the standard long kick of Carey. Doing a good job.
Will we see a change in some of the tactics in the second half? But North will have to concentrate, maintain a high level of concentration to get the most out of this. They're not in any serious danger of losing. It's 12-9 to 4-8. It was 8 goals to 4 early in the second term when Primus kicked that goal for Fitzroy.
Actually, if there's one good thing for Fitzroy, Bruce, they've got the leading possession gatherer on the ground at half-time. Dent has had 18 touches.
Primus and Capuano. Now Primus out of the middle to Bamford, to Dent. So add one, Robbo, as Barker comes away at centre wing. He kicks to half forward. Johnson, good mark. He hasn't been able to get away from Blakey too often. Could have run on a lot further, but delivers well. Well done, though, by Archer, who's one of the really hard units at the back for North Melbourne. Roberts held up. Rombotis had a good first quarter, quiet in the second. Back to Johnson. He comes back again. Morton, snap at goal. Looks good. Well done. So Fitzroy get the first goal after half-time as they got the first after quarter-time. It's 12-9 to 5-8.
Well, I'd like swap Guernseys. This time it was North Melbourne who were fiddling around with the ball in front of the Fitzroy goal. And eventually the Fitzroy pressure has created the turnover, and Morton has been able to finish. So that was good forward pressure by Fitzroy. They need plenty of that to keep the ball in that part of the ground.
And Morton has been lively since coming off the bench. 9 possessions, and that goal to start the third term. Primus tries to crush his way past Scholl, gets the hand pass to Bamford, the Gary Wilson look-alike. Bamford goes for goal. They've got another one on the scoreboard. Well done, the Lions. Scott Bamford kicks his second goal, and the Lion roars.
And a spirited start. All the players in there. Matthew Primus, probably the ruck work, set it up. Good couple of tap-ons, and then really good speed and ability to run with the ball. Bamford, he's very light. He'd want to be able to run, but he's also a very good kick when he's in full motion, and good, accurate kick from the 50-metre line. So it's a great morale-boosting first few minutes for Fitzroy.
2 goals in a minute for Fitzroy, 12-9 to 6-8. It's an exciting goal by Bamford. Capuano held up out of the centre. Barker back to Pike. Pike's high ball. 2 centre-half forward. Johnson worked underneath it by Blakey. Capuano threw his legs. Scott went to go off the ground. Probably saw Armstrong, his teammate, and then held onto it a bit. Scott tries to get a handball away. McGregor pushes forward. Stevens goes to half forward. Might have too much on it, actually, for Anderson, who's on the ground. Bad miss by Barker, though. Anderson held up. No free kick. May have given it off. Decides to go for goal. And just misses it behind. Some good individual play there by Stuart Anderson. He'd be raring to go after being on the interchange for much of the first half. There's Scholl sitting down with Freeborn and Danilchenko. And it's 12-10 to 6-8 as Malloy brings it in, and as he's done so often tonight, he goes to the pocket and goes short. This time Clayton.
Shane Clayton, son of a former VFL, AFL umpire, Ian Clayton. And that kick is, well, that was a little bit too simple, wasn't it, for Corey McKernan? And he'll pump it back to within goal-scoring distance for North Melbourne. To the front of the square. Defending is Malloy. Just a bad fumble. Giving away behind is Clayton. And North Melbourne add to their score. Mick Dwyer and Rowan Wharf on the bench for Fitzroy. 12-11 plays 6-8. 33 points is the margin. Malloy goes short and finds Pike. Pike is still very close to the North Melbourne goal, only 25 metres out. So Fitzroy far from danger. Pike goes across the half-back line. And the ball taken away by Holmes. McKernan, strong again. Oh, gets past, he'll go for goal. This will bring the house down if he can kick it. Carey across the face. And unselfishly kicks it back for Rock. So Rock will shoot from only 20 metres out. Very, very slight angle.
Again, we saw what Brian Carey does so well. That ball that's floating up toward the goal square, he attacks the ball like he's the only one who really wants it. And an easy chest mark and a good unselfish kick to Rock.
So Rock to kick the goal, straight over the goal umpire's head. Anthony Rock's first goal, and North Melbourne get one back. 13-11 plays 6-8.
And again, a good change of defence. The idea to change direction out of defence is okay, I suppose, by Fitzroy. But once the turnover comes, well, all the forwards are in the correct position. And McKernan went for goal. He had 2 players in between, really, but North plans to kick the ball long, and that makes them predictable to each other.
Rock gets the goal. Remember, he missed out in the first quarter when he got a free kick and had to go off with the blood roll. Stevens kicked it for him. Terrific mark by Carey. And wonderful play by McKernan to bring it forward. 13-11, 6-8. North very much in control, but Fitzroy with a couple of bursts in this quarter and in the first have added some excitement to this game. Capuano went very early. Armstrong down to Blakey. Blakey out of the centre. McKernan underneath it. With him, Paxman. Now Carey can attack the goal from 48 metres. Wonderful kick. Vintage Carey. And I think we've seen a bit of him tonight, Lee, that we hadn't seen earlier in the year. The big mark a moment ago. The attack then, the acceleration, the long goal.
Well, I think he has been attacking the ball a bit more tonight. I just think most of the times I've seen him played this year, his first instinct has been to establish body contact with his defender and trowel out body. But tonight I think he's attacked the ball in the air a little bit better, and I think when he does that, he's a much better player.
14-11 to 6-8. Back out to 51 points, the margin. Primus tries to get a kick out. He can't. Roberts across his left shoulder. It should be marked and is by Simpson. Lovely hand pass to Archer. Can he get past here? One bounce and then kicks with the left. Not bad distance, right to the line. Crocker goes through his hands and over for a behind. 14-12 to 6-8. Fitzroy kicked the first 2 goals of the third quarter. Quick answers for North Melbourne coming from Wayne Carey. This is Paxman. Kicks down towards half-back. The mark is taken by Bamford. Out wide to Pike. Pike kicks with the left foot. Up towards centre-half forward. Cassidy knocked away by Laidley. Kicked out of there by David King. Nearly gathered there by Simpson. And the umpire will call for a bounce. McGregor coming up with the football. The umpire. Now, what's happened here? Fitzroy obviously thought they may have been given a free kick there. The umpire indicating that he ducked his head, so he's deciding on a bounce. Sometimes there's some inconsistencies with that rule. Up high, Capuano, but taken by Primus. His kick quickly towards half forward. It bounces awkwardly for all players. Gathered by Hawking. Gives the handball away to Barker. Barker into the pocket. That's very ordinary for Mellington. He had no chance whatsoever. And Michael Martin, the lieutenant, back there on the full back line for North Melbourne, sees it safely over. Boundary throw in. Kangaroo supporters. All keen footy supporters get to the MCG on Friday night. 14.5 minutes left in the third term. And North Melbourne have got control of the game. Hawking, Capuano, Ian Fairley, the tackler. And the umpire will ball it up around about 35 to 40 metres from the Fitzroy goal.
Primus, Capuano has been going pretty early in this quarter with his leap. Bamford, Scott onto him, back to McGregor. McGregor at 50, kicks the ball to centre half forward. Front spot, Mellington still hasn't had a kick. Martin playing very well on him. To Capuano, to Stevens, good build up to Robertson, his 150th. Lopes away, was going to go a second bounce, then kicks to full forward. Crocker worked under it. No free kick, that's interesting. Normally when they don't take the mark, they pay a free. Then off the ground by Malloy. The kick out towards halfback hasn't quite gone out. Clayton had to get rid of it in a hurry. Good tackle, just too much body strength by Crocker. Anderson, Armstrong, back to Anderson. Little left foot is a beauty to McKernan in the pocket. Could have actually gone on McKernan. He's going to go back and take his time. He got a slap in the face a moment ago, McKernan. He might be just sorting himself out. It was unintentional, but I noticed he was just holding his head. He's improved the angle, but he's just blasted across the face. Scott's taken the mark. He's tight in the right forward pocket. He's got a couple inside. Blakey called to play on, didn't go far enough. Kicks to the front of the square. Punch by Pike. Armstrong had a chance, missed it. Anderson comes back. Beautiful take by Roberts, half volley. Then goes with a shot towards goal and out on the full. So actually some untidy football all round there, resulting in a kick out of play. Was Barker off? The umpire's given him the benefit of the doubt. He kicks the ball from half-back to centre wing, as so often the case has been. The Fitzroy player has had little momentum when the ball's got to him, and the North Melbourne player's been able to just pick it off. There's another example out of play.
It's Anthony McGregor in picture for Fitzroy. They've just kicked goals in spurts. They kicked 3 goals early in the first quarter. one early in the second quarter and two early in this term. Just not able to sustain it. McCarthy over the top, Barker. Now Paxman gets it to Clayton. This is not too bad. They may clear the full back line here. Malloy's kick goes to Cassidy. Cassidy in turn to Rombotis. Rombotis has kicked the full forward, Mellington. Now Cassidy. That might have been the young boy Carter who took the ball away from half back. And Cassidy's kick is offline and through for one behind. So disappointing finish there because Cassidy, who kicked one, maybe more goals like that off that left foot against the Dockers last week, missing from about 35 metres.
Mellington kicked his 6 last week, but against Mickey Martin, you've got to earn every kick, don't you? As soon as Mick's got a chance to spoil, he generally affects it. Fairly untied in a lot of things he does, Mick, but he makes it hard for his respective opponent to get the ball.
King kicks the ball in the direction of Bell and Rock, a couple of rovers, and they could have waxed it almost. Bell takes the mark at half-back, kicks the ball into the centre, Fairley chips in and plays on quickly. Now kicks the ball out to Carey. Wonderful take by the captain, who's in great form tonight. Kicks towards Crocker, beaten for pace though by Malloy, who takes the mark. He is an exciting young talent, gives it to Paxman. This will have to be accurate. Carter, Roberts, again an example of a Fitzroy player caught underneath, with the North Melbourne player being able to either defend or rip it away and then attack. That time the defensive action from Roberts.
It's so important with the kicking to kick the ball where the player's going to be, not actually above his head, setting him up for the opposition spoil.
Boundary throw in, taken by Chris Johnson. Hasn't had much of the football. Stevens kicks the ball back to the pocket. McKernan got a hand on it. Malloy pushes through from behind and it gets there. So another rush behind for North. In control, 14-13 to 6-9. It's the ex-coach of the Fitzroy Football Club and a great mate of ours at Channel 7, the super bird himself, Bernie Quinlan, sitting up there and having a look. Pike's kick into the centre, taken by Clayton.
Clayton runs away from half-back, but his kick is balked there beautifully by McKernan. And a thumping kick by McKernan. Lands nearly in the square, but it's marked safely by Malloy. Malloy, this time with a bit of precision, finds Clayton. No one around to stop Clayton from running away. His kick is reasonably well weighted. Now, a free kick is going against Primus in trying to just shepherd it off. He did illegally interfere with Archer, and Archer has the free kick. Archer kicks to the 50-metre line. No mark. It's punched to the ground. Blakey does well just to give it to Bell. Then Robert Scott across his left shoulder. Oh, terrific mark. A big man, but it was skillfully done by Matthew Capuano. And he's marked only 35 metres out directly in front.
Yes, and just as well North have got the shot at goal from this patch of play. McKernan, a great smother in the just 2-3 minutes ago, and that part was good, but then he's had a long shot at goal from 70 metres out. He must have thought he was going to kick 80 metres and ignored a couple of players in between. But nevertheless, Fitzroy haven't got out of defence before eventually Capuano's marked the ball.
Crocker is off the ground and Scholl is back on for North Melbourne as Capuano prepares to kick his first goal. And he's put it through. Another goal to North. Matthew Capuano's first. North Melbourne's 15th. 15-13 to 6-9.
I think Capuano come on the ground has really made it very difficult for Matthew Primus. He started off fairly well against McKernan, I thought. But then McKernan's gone and plays as a permanent forward, and Capuano came into the ruck, and the double teaming situation makes it very tough for Primus, and Capuano's getting on top in that position.
(15-13, 6-9). Scholl on the ground. Off the ground is Crocker having a stretch as Roberts kicks to full forward and Danilchenko takes the mark. He started the match, Danilchenko, but has played not a lot of minutes. He's a very long kick. He has been on the borderline, hasn't he, for a couple of seasons. Hasn't quite established himself.
He has played very well. Best I've ever seen him play against Richmond last Saturday, and at least he's been on the field for the entire game. Normally, he's on and off interchange.
Long kick there, and just missing. So a direct shot at goal from about 40 metres, the 20-year-old. 15-14, 6-9. And as Robbo said, Fitzroy's scores have come in bursts tonight. It seems in each quarter we get to a moment when North has all the answers. They're able to hold Fitzroy up, make it very difficult for them to attack. And we're going through a stage at the moment. Let's see if Fitzroy can break the shackle, so to speak. Good take. Maybe that's what they need. Something a little out of the ordinary. And that was a terrific mark by Primus, who's lost no admirers tonight. He's against some of the luminaries in the game, but he's held his spot pretty well. Gee, that looked off Paxman, but anyway, Johnson's got it at centre wing. He's had a quietish match. Oh, danger here, centering kick. Mellington in it. Well, Dent probably should have left it for Mellington. Mellington must be hungry for the footy. He's seen so little of it. Back to Clayton. That was okay. Back to Mellington. Gets a kick finally to half forward. Archer underneath. Doesn't drop those. He's a very good footballer, is Archer. Goes back to King. King's kick is very good. It goes to Stevens, and Stevens away, and Charlotte centre wing.
Gee, it was good footy by North in the finish. With precision, they've got the ball to half forward, and a strong mark taken by the captain. He's 50 metres out. He's kicked 3 goals, and he could make it 4.
He is a fantastic team man. His first instinct then was to give off, wasn't it?
Well,
Looking all the time.
Thought he should have given it off, actually, but he chose to have the shot from the 50-metre mark, so there's a lot of pressure to make sure he kicks it, I would think.
Well, he'd get the distance, wouldn't he? Such a powerful kick. It is a good kick. It's a goal.
(16-14, 6-9). Carey with 4 goals, having 2 in the second and 2 now in the third. Scholl, well done, but his handle just missed the target. Cut off by the Lions as they come to centre wing. Barker chips away and gets to Cassidy. Cassidy onto that neat left foot, but the centering kick gives North the chance. King too strong. Called play on. Probably a good decision because Morton had just a touch of it, you'd feel. Stevens comes away from centre-half back, kicks to centre-half forward. McKernan, the colossus that he is, he's a towering figure in the game now. Not only literally, but figuratively, as he kicks the ball to Carey, who's getting stronger and stronger. Just looking up, Lee, 2 goals last week, 3 the week before, 1 the week before for Carey. So it has been a little while since he's kicked a bag and really taken charge. And tonight he's giving some very good signs, isn't he?
Well, he's a North, just you know they're going to kick the ball long into the forward 50, and I suppose when you've got Carey and McKernan, why not?
It's his 10th mark and his 5th goal. So it's his first bag of 5 for a month. And there they are, 17-14 to 6-9. Won't that make a fantastic photo one day? Carey and McKernan together, because they're 2 of the greats at the club.
Yeah, they're very good players. I think what is happening tonight, that Carey's able to get space between him and McCarthy, and I think either McCarthy's dropping off or Carey's just running around a lot more, but he is getting space and movement.
Well, the bounce back in the centre, Mellington not able to break clear. There's a free kick being awarded to that player, and now a 50-metre penalty against North Melbourne. And the infringer could have been Capuano by the look of that. So Mellington now, who we believe could be on the ball or in the centre, certainly a midfielder, struggled up until half-time playing at full forward. And that 50-metre penalty has brought him to within scoring distance. He's directly in front and will kick from about 40. So he should score. And he kicks a goal for the Lions. Anthony Mellington's first goal. So far, Fitzroy 7-9-51, trail North Melbourne 17-14, 116.
Good finish, got the free kick and of course the 50-metre penalty. So that put him well within scoring distance, but he still had to kick it straight from 30 metres, and he's got a nice kicking action. Looks like he can kick the ball straight consistently. So at least the 7th goal on the board.
Free kick in the centre to Primus. We've seen a lot of them from the centre square tonight. 17 goals to 7 the score. Primus kicks back to centre half forward. Hawking front spot. He's had a night where he's really struggled. Dent onto the boot. Went over the top of McGregor. Stevens. Handball was very accurate to Scott. Scott pushes wider. Archer breaks a tackle. Then it comes out to Simpson. Clever to Scott. He had wonderful feel there, Simpson. Scott's kick at least gives the chance to Capuano. Back to Bell. Bell attacks to full forward. Good kick to Danilchenko. Some accurate football there from North Melbourne in some tight quarters early on, and then they were able to free the ball up and present it to Danilchenko in a very favourable position. And he missed one from straight in front, about the same distance 5 minutes ago. He does kick the ball well. You'd back him from here. Will kick from 45 metres out. Looks terrific off the boot, straight through. I know, Lee, that as a youngster, he kicked some incredible totals in underage football. He is a long kick, and that was another example.
Yeah, that was very good. And I think one of the good things, this is the end of a passage of play that Scott has kicked the ball into Capuano, that North Melbourne had probably 3 or 4 really quick, pressured hand passes, but they were all the players on the move, and they basically swept the ball 40 or 50 metres before Scott eventually kicked the ball, but it was always going forward.
10 goal kickers for North Melbourne, 18-14 to 7-9. Fitzroy again force it forward. Well done, Rombotis. Over to Dent. The umpire has found a free kick. The ball was flowing Fitzroy's way. Obviously, he could see that it was not to their advantage, so it came back to Dent. Dent close to the man on the mark, kicks it high. No mark. Johnson couldn't gather the football. Laidley has it in there somewhere. There it is. The umpire will ball it up just at the end of the square, the goal square. Chris Mitchell officiating at that end of the ground at the moment. His cohorts tonight, Scott McLaren and David Ackland. Primus doing the ruck work, but up over the top was Johnson. Gets the handball down. Rombotis, what's he done? Not fluked a goal out of there, has he? Just offline and through from behind. Did well to squeeze a kick out of that, John Rombotis. Still the scoreboard looking quite miserable as far as Fitzroy are concerned. North Melbourne well in control. 4 minutes left in the third term. McKernan knocks it forward. Chance for McGregor. The 2 number 11s. Archer makes a path for Roberts. Roberts to his own advantage. Runs on. Caught. Hand pass away. Too high the tackle. And the free kick will go to the North Melbourne captain, Wayne Carey, on centre wing.
I think Malloy being brought out onto Carey. Carey ran McCarthy off, basically.
Kick to centre half forward. Offhand, surely. Gee, Fitzroy's inexperience showed there because their player had first touch and the umpire called play on, and Capuano had a chance to try and set something up. So it'll be a bounce now. 18-14 to 7-10. It was the right decision. Primus, Capuano, Primus has kept going all night. Rock tried to sidestep and then caught up. And,
he's rucked from one end of the field to the other. Primus. It's been an amazing stamina effort just still to be on his feet as the game progresses.
And his standard of play, Lee, has been consistent, hasn't it? He hasn't really dropped away, as sometimes can happen when you're under that pressure. Rock quickly to Blakey. Good kick round the body. That's a goal. His first. And North now starting to build to what could be a fairly impressive total. They're up to 20 or 19, close to three-quarter time. And who knows, with a big last quarter, they may approach something like 30 goals tonight.
They are determined to keep pushing the ball forward, really. Great support from players around the player trying to take possession of the ball. There's always someone there to give the ball to when a North player's under pressure.
So John Blakey becomes North Melbourne's 11th goal kicker. Peter Bell kicks high to half forward, not clear there by Freeborn. Went after the footy again very quickly. Handballs it back. Carey running in, goes for goal number 6, does Wayne Carey. Across the face. And through for one behind. So 5 goals, 2 to Wayne Carey. Dennis Pagan with plenty to be pleased about so far. Carey disappointed. Wasn't an easy shot. Kick in for Fitzroy. Oh, gee, absolutely straight through his hands, Paxman. And he will be a disappointed person, I'm sure. Boundary throw in 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Big scoreline for North, 19-15. We've still got 2 minutes left in the third term. And you would think they could still add to that in the remaining seconds. Away goes Morton. His high kick towards centre wing. Nearly taken by Martin. He's lousy, isn't he? Crashes his way through. And then Mongrel punts it. Just forced it forward with strength. Still there for North Melbourne. Danilchenko straightens up and snaps, but misses just off to the right. 1 goal, 1 for Jason Danilchenko. And his first chance tonight just about to come for Rowan Wharf for Fitzroy.
Dent, another possession. Kicks to centre wing. Oh, Roberts having a pretty good match in his 150th. Centering ball. Stevens. Well, Stevens to take that. Back to McKernan. He's had a very good game. Long kick, McKernan to centre half forward. Big fly was from Carey. Ball comes to the ground. Dent under pressure. Onto the boot in a hurry. Out to half back. Barker. Freeborn worries him out of it. Danilchenko goes to give a handball off. Back to Carey. Could this be goal number 6? Oh, fantastic smother. That time coming from Barker. Morton, who's had a couple of touches. To Pike. Pike on the left boot. Lovely take by Cassidy. It looked like it had gone beyond him. He pushes forward with a kick towards McGregor, who's fallen over a couple of times in this quarter when it's been critical, and takes the mark at centre wing. Halfway between there and half forward to be exact. McGregor goes on now. Gets good distance with his kick towards full forward. Primus's fly at the back. Goes forward again towards Hawking, who has had a very quiet night. He's on the left foot, which should suit him. Bouncing ball. That wasn't a very good kick, really, by Hawking. Anyway, through to the pocket and out of play. Deep in attack.
Get the impression that Wayne Carey's pretty keen to get some goals against his game. He's named it. Every time he gets the ball within 70 metres, his guys are at the goal. He really just wants to get some goals tonight.
McKernan and Primus. So we're close to three-quarter time. 13 goals the margin in the game. McKernan down to Morton, down to McGregor. Hooks it back. Nobody there. Roberts has got it and comes away. He's had a good night, as I said earlier. Roberts kicks to centre wing, eludes both Pike and Simpson. Then Scholl also missed it. Under pressure, Dent ridden into the ground. Will get a free kick. He has had a lot of the football, Dent. It's his 24th possession coming up. Hawking and Fairley. Both Fairley and Martin have easily won the key back positions for North Melbourne. The chip from Stevens, Roberts again, and it's three-quarter time. So North continue to impress. They kicked 7 in that quarter, and Fitzroy 3. So it's 78 points the margin. Dipper, the mind boggles, but North are going well, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're doing the job out here, Bruce, not only on the ground, but their physical strength. We just saw Mickey Martin before take on 2 or 3 Fitzroy players, and they only are young boys, the Fitzroy boys, and as we see North Melbourne, as I said, doing the job tonight, but their physical strength is certainly is a standout here on the ground here tonight. Yeah,
no doubt about that, Dipper. A number of occasions we've just seen them brush a tackle. Carey and Malloy. Michael Noonan had a long talk to Malloy before they went back into their positions at the end of the three-quarter time break. And Malloy now with a job on Carey as he had just before three-quarter time. Carey shrugging off McCarthy tonight. 19-16 to 7-10, so North lead by 78 points. Their record margin against Fitzroy all time is 95 points, so that's not beyond realms of possibility here. But Hawking takes the mark. He's had very few of those tonight, and then kicks into the man on the mark. At least gets around and then attacks with not a bad kick towards the goal square. Millington back with Martin. Ball goes to ground. Cassidy could kick this. Misses behind. Well, they have come out of the blocks on a number of occasions pretty well. 19-16 to 7-11. That record margin between the two. In fact, was 103 points in 1995. That's North Melbourne's record margin last year in the round 22 game, so it wasn't that long ago. That makes it a little more difficult. An extra 8 points with the mark taken at half-back by Capuano. Gets up just a little sore.
Actually, Bruce, the all-time high scores for both sides are pretty good, aren't they? North Melbourne 30 goals, 24, and Fitzroy 34 goals, 16. Have to have been a league record, that score by Fitzroy. Kick towards half-forward for North. Blakey interfered with by Johnson, and a fairly straightforward decision for the umpire in that area. Blakey, his kick towards full forward. Up early was Simpson. Bell to Crum. Gets the hand pass away to McKernan. A terrific kick to the square, and Scott is there on his own and marks safely on his chest. McKernan, 15 kicks, 2 handballs, 7 hit-outs, 2 tackles as well. Robert Scott with the football, with his 14th possession. Could kick his first goal. He's put it through. So that big score for North is continuing on. 20 goals, 16 to 7-11, and Matthew Capuano having a spell on the bench.
Well, they've certainly pushed forward hard. We're going to Dipperari, or...?
Yes, Bruce, he's rolled his ankle, unfortunately. The young fellow, every time he gets on the ground, he's tends to get an injury, unfortunately.
Just looking at a replay, Dipper, we can see it happen. So bad luck for Capuano. North getting goal number 20. So the lead is out to 83 points. Bamford gets it from Primus. Millington went early. Martin worked him under cleverly. Archer has had a very good night, like a lot of his teammates. Chips away to Laidley. A performance like this and a win like this builds so much confidence in all of the players. Laidley's kick spot on to Rock. Rock to Ian Fairley. To centre wing. Scholl, it was a hard ball. Got a fair time to get rid of it. Got it out to Rock. Rock couldn't quite push forward. Johnson, Paxman, that was just a little push-up. To Barker. Controlled it pretty well, actually, to Cassidy. Still a long way from goal. And then chips away. Again, we see pressure, but Hawking able to take a good mark. Could go on here. He's got Morton all alone. He does at half-forward, but they're still on a tightish angle and a fair way from home for Morton. He kicked a goal in the third term after a couple of handballs came back to him. One from was Rombotis to Johnson to Morton on that occasion, handballing. He kicked the ball from about this distance, but not a set shot. That's a good-looking kick right to the goal square. McKernan unopposed. Towering figure in the game. His 8th mark. Lee is giving the votes tonight, but I guess this guy's got to be getting up in contention. Carey's also had a wonderful night. The kick into the centre. Handball on by Blakey. Cut off. Chance for Bamford.
Well, Fitzroy may be able to hold it in this forward half. A free kick has come out of a bit of an altercation, and it will go to Johnson. Gee, a lot of responsibility, isn't it, for a young man? He's not quite 20 years of age, and just in his 2nd season of senior AFL football, being asked to play the role of a senior on-field leader for the Lions.
You mentioned McKernan before, just that mark. He was basically unopposed in the defensive goal square, but I think the combination of his height and his leap and his reach, I doubt whether anyone could really get higher to extend for that and judges it so well into his hands.
Primus, well, an OK tackle by Blakey. Matthew Primus looks up inquisitively at the umpire as if to say, was it too high? But nothing happening. Umpire Chris Mitchell has been involved in the hot cauldron of AFL football for a long time. Bounce, favoured Freeborn, gets it to Laidley. Laidley running away, won't break this tackle, but gets a left foot kick up towards full forward. Good mark, Denelchenko. Is it paid? No. McCarthy able to knock it away, and the umpire will bounce. And Jason Denelchenko. I don't think you'll buy the umpire there a beer after the game. Bounce about 40 metres from the North Melbourne goal. McKernan up high, gets his right hand to it. Just went past Scott. Simpson, kicked 3 goals already. Gets it back to Freeborn. Snapshot, oh, magnificent kick. That's a magnificent kick by Freeborn. He becomes North Melbourne's 13th goal kicker. And they've got their 21st on the scoreboard. They lead 142 to 53, and 15 minutes are left in this last term.
Example of what we see so often in league football these days, the ability of players to lay the ball across the boot and use the angles to curve the ball back. And it's happened on a fair few occasions tonight, almost a standard kick for a majority of league footballers.
Free kick in the centre to Fitzroy. A couple of handballs. Barker's kick towards centre half forward. Not very effective. Stevens able to win it back to Primus, who takes the mark. And 50 metres, I think, against McKernan, who may have felt that Primus was playing on. There's a bit of back chat between Carey and Primus. But Primus to bring the ball forward. Now he'll kick from... he's about 52 metres out now. Awkward style, but gets the ball to full forward. Millington early. Free kick going to Mickey Martin. Millington taking off. Martin to take it. Lays it off to Armstrong. Armstrong's kick out to half-back. Blakey to Stevens, under pressure. Doesn't make many mistakes, Stevens. Did that time out of bounds.
Probably, if they had a look at it again, maybe the second preferred option there. Corey McKernan in picture, but this is Hawking for Fitzroy. He's marked. Long, long way out from goal. He's kicked to centre half forward, nearly taken by Mellington. At the rear there was Scott, Roberts, then Bell. The kick across the centre of the ground. Taken now by Simpson in towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Danilchenko. Danilchenko, who was thwarted just a little earlier in much the same area. Perhaps thought he'd taken the mark, but not paid. On this occasion, a clean mark, 45 metres out, kicking for the Kangaroos' 22nd goal. Lovely long kick, and it looks as though it may have the accuracy. Yes.
(22-7). Lovely long kick by Danilchenko. Morton out of the centre to Dent at half forward. He's got a couple leading for him. Comes back inside. Rombotis takes the mark. 50 metres from goal. He has Dwyer in the pocket all alone. Too late now. Millington calling for it very deep. Primus is at centre half forward on his own. He's just trying to weigh it up at the moment, and that's an awful kick. That is a terrible result from a player who shows a lot of quality. He'll be disappointed. Martin takes it from Laidley. Martin kicks the ball to centre wing. Carey and Malloy. Malloy went to ground. Bell, handball over the top to Roberts. Inside, now to Carey. Carey can attack. Goes for goal 6. Keeps it low. Kicks it. Terrific stuff. (23-16 to 7-11). They are within a kick of their greatest winning margin ever against Fitzroy in the history of the competition.
And the way North finished games out, you'd almost back that they'll get that. But I think we've seen the running centre half forward in Wayne Carey tonight. You alluded to it earlier, Bruce, and I think he's covered more ground tonight. He's a running player, and that when he does that, we know how well he can mark the ball. He just becomes an exciting player.
Gee, 2 great left-hand hand passes, one from Bell and one from Roberts, covering probably up to 10 metres with accuracy. Chance for Fitzroy. Johnson overruns it. The spillage is picked off by Scholl. Scholl's kick lands at half forward. Bell, Crumming. Roberts gathers that nonchalantly. Kicks towards goal. Danilchenko's marked it in the square. Only 3 metres out. And he 24th goal. He's kicked 2, he's now kicked 3. So a very big score now being accumulated by North Melbourne, 24-16 to 7-11.
That's one thing I associate with North Melbourne. They just finish the game so strong that almost every time I see them play, their last quarter is just about their best of the whole game. And really, they're just starting to surge now, and they've kicked 24 goals. I can tell you 30 wouldn't be out of the question.
That's what they kicked last year in the round 22. Michael Noonan wasn't coaching that day, Lee. They kicked 30 goals to 15 that day.
Well, I'm a great fan of the way North Melbourne play, but they just finish so strong, and they've got a great ability to kick big scores once they get control of the game.
Well, right now, this is the greatest margin that has ever been between the two. There's the official attendance, 19,964. Not bad. But Dennis Pagan, so the biggest margin, winning margin ever was 103. At the moment, it's 107. And you would not back Fitzroy to outscore North from this moment on. So when we think about a merger between these two clubs, and we think about the last couple of times they've played one another, there have been 100-point games between them. Lately's kick, McKernan had it all written over. Wolf can't get through, and it will be a bounce. Let's hope he's all right, McKernan.
It's a bent little finger, I think, dislocated finger.
He gets so high, as you said a moment ago, Lee. Barker, Wharf, out to Rombotis. Rombotis to centre wing, Fairley and Hawking. Fairley overruns it, Hawking gets back. And then Laidley, Fairley and Carter all around the footy. And it's going to be a bounce.
It's one of those things you saw Corey McKernan then, who's dislocated his finger. It's one of those things you forget about, how much players just jar the knuckles on their fingers. It's one of the things, once you don't play for a while, you tend to overlook.
Looks as though it happened to you a fair bit.
Happened to everybody. It's just part and parcel of the ball sport, isn't it? But you tend to forget about it.
Well, he's coming off the ground to have a spell. Well, you'd have to think the quality of player that Corey McKernan is, with 11 minutes left in this game, it really wouldn't matter if he didn't come back onto the ground, I wouldn't think, because he's going to be such a key if North Melbourne are to carry on just a couple of steps further than the last couple of seasons and figure in the grand final of 1996. This is Mick Dwyer for Fitzroy. Only a couple of touches for Dwyer. So he's deep in the pocket. His kick will land in the square. That's nearly a mark. It should be played, I would suggest, to Paxman. So Fitzroy will get their 8th goal here. Stephen Paxman played most of the night in defence.
I would say this is for the first time in the game that Fitzroy have looked like taking what you could call a pat mark in their forward 50, and you need to do that to kick a score.
Paxman kicks the goal. Fitzroy get their 8th. So still 101 points is the margin in favour of North Melbourne.
This was a good mark, good high kick into the goal square, and it's really hard to mark balls in that part of the ground, but Paxman got the leap at the ball and was able to hang on to it. So good morale booster for him to mark and goal.
Paxman back in the back pocket after kicking that goal, 24-16 to 8-11. Carter, quiet night, Primus, out wide, okay, to Barker. Barker, little chip one, that was to Johnson, who missed it, down to Dent. Dent attacks to the pocket, Millington and Martin. Martin just too strong. Was able to keep Millington at bay without giving away a free kick and take the mark. Martin kicks, takes a while to get out there. Archer, good take to Stevens, exciting, and away he goes with a second bounce. Can go a third if he wants to. Brings the ball into centre half forward. Malloy takes the mark. It was a poor kick by Stevens. He just didn't have the carry. He may have been better to run a little extra and then deliver. Primus, who has been good. This will be interesting. He's in trouble.
Those big fellas shouldn't try to bounce the ball.
Thought he did. mean, it's very technical, but did make an attempt to get rid of it.
He had all the good ideas. It just didn't quite work for him.
Roberts, Paxman, Clayton, over the top. Here's Wharf.
Wharf is still in the defensive 50-metre area, and Barker's in all sorts of trouble. Tackled by Bell, able to get it away to Wharf. He can run away from Carey, but he can't get past Stevens. Terrific tackle. Now Anderson for North Melbourne. Anderson's kick is in towards full forward. Oh, Anthony rub it in. Taking Speckies from behind.
He just replaced Capuano, who's come off the ground, and Rocks basically ran from interchange to that part of the ground, and well, North Melbourne are on top, and when a little bloke like Rock is sort of basically marks over the top of a fairly much taller player, you know things are falling for you.
Just saw Darren Crocker on the bench, and he's been there for a little while. Let's hope he's not too badly injured. He's just had a wretched run as Rock kicks for goal. He's kicked it.
For Rock and North 25-16 to 8-11, straight up in the air, play on called, not covering 10 metres. Primus trying to get a handball away. A bounce again. So North got 8 in the first quarter, 4 in the second, 7 in the third quarter, and so far in this term have kicked 6 goals. It has been a really impressive display by a team that, if they're not favourite for the flag, they must be in the top 2 or 3 without any question. Primus won it. Archer quickly got the ball to centre half forward. It eluded Carey. Wharf under pressure. Dent's handball okay. Clayton comes away from half back. He's had a fair bit of the football tonight. He's made a few errors. Morton gives it to Carter. Carter to centre half forward. Archer with courage. Bellington well done. Gee, Archer did well there. He was coming back, had no idea what was going to be behind him, and kept his eye on it all the way. Kick by Scott to centre half forward. Cassidy chops it off. Back to Morton, getting a few touches. Pushes to Dwyer out wide. Mickey Dwyer, picked up in the pre-draft last year for a bit of experience. He's at about 50 metres. Too far out to score a goal. Just a couple of kicks and a handball. Brings the ball to the front of the goal square. Mellington up. Martin pushes forward. Hawking tries to hold his ground. Johnson to Dwyer. He provided a screen. Cassidy could kick this. It's floating. Martin, well done. He's had a good night out, Mickey. He has a few of those on a Friday night at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. This is one of them.
He's been like Scrooge McDuck back there, hasn't he?
Lousy. Mellington hasn't taken a mark. That's how well Mick's played. He just has not allowed him to mark the ball above his head at all.
Well, he's just a dead-set, old-fashioned defender, isn't he? Nothing flash about him, but he makes it difficult for the opposition to get a touch. And North Melbourne have now got the ball out to centre wing. Anderson. Gee, Bell didn't really have to change path there. Change stride, rather. Freeborn, left half forward. The kick into the pocket is good, and Rocker's marked. Still close to 50 metres from goal. 25-16 to 8-11. 6 minutes left. He runs close to the man on the mark. He kicks to the square, and it's a pretty safe mark in the finish taken by Malloy. Gets the hand pass away to McCarthy, who's had a fairly lousy night. His kick is not bad. Carter gets it to Dent. Dent into the middle of the ground is okay. Wharf has taken the mark and runs away, or does he? Gee, Craig Scholl was good. Cassidy's handball, no good. Blakey mops up. And away go North Melbourne. Scholl, who applied the tackle to set it up, gets the kick to half forward. Carey nearly took a miraculous mark. Not able to control the football, so the umpire will bounce 40 metres from the North Melbourne goal. And Corey McKernan came off the ground a moment ago, Dipper.
Pinky, which was dislocated, and the answer on Crocker is that he's just been rested for the rest of the night.
Well, that's good news. Let's hope that that's correct from the North Melbourne bench, because there's some quality players there at the moment.
Another bounce. Carey getting up high a moment ago. There's Darren Crocker and McKernan in the background. Carey worked to the front. Malloy got the tap. Paxman's handball okay to Morton. Morton to Bamford. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight. He kicked a terrific goal in the third quarter. That's a nice kick to Primus. It was well weighted. He's got Johnson in board, but that'll be covered in a moment. Millington leads. Primus kicks in his direction. Martin again with him. King off the ground. He'll charge after it. Carter tapped it forward, but they had the numbers north. Anderson back to Laidley, to Anderson. Anderson's chip. Stevens, oh, was he off? No, probably not. He turned and Clayton was onto him. Stevens goes back in board to Armstrong. Armstrong in the direction of Carey. Front spot, good mark. It's kick 6. He could make the distance from here.
12 marks.
Played a fabulous game. He's kicked 6 once this year, so if he could manage a 7th, it would be his best return for the season. He's been kicking them from here all night. Right on 50s, he comes in, bringing it back, but just across, so behind. But it's just been a terrific night from the Kangaroo captain. 25-17 to 8-11. So I think we can say that at this stage North are safely going to win by a record margin between the two clubs. Down to Scott. Scott's kick to centre half forward. Good effort by Blakey. Carey's had him for a while. Holding on to Barker. Bounce.
Gee, you'd have to think you've missed out if you're playing with North Melbourne. There's 21 guys go out there in a game of football. 13 of them have kicked goals.
Carey's coming off, Robbo.
Well, I guess that's a fair ploy, isn't it? He wouldn't like it.
Particularly when the State of Origin game's on next week.
Well, it'll be interesting to get your comment on that, because players playing in that game, sometimes it's not favoured by coaches. Primus trying to get the ball clear. He does to Pike. Pike from left half back. Kicks it nicely into the centre. And it's taken there by Dead. Another possession. The handball to Carter. Outruns on this occasion Anderson. Goes for goal. It's a good kick by young Nick Carter. And he's kicked the goal. So pretty well done in the finish. He backed himself earlier in the second quarter and was run down in defence. Made himself look a little ordinary, but he's done this nicely to get Fitzroy's 9th goal.
And it was a good finish. Young player on the way up, had a good game last week, and Least took him on. And really a good long left foot kick from the 50-metre line, so good running goal by Carter.
In the centre, North by 102 points. Archer to Stevens. Stevens wide, Anderson. Now Ron Bodas just trying to push it towards Johnson, I think. Bell's kick towards full forward. At the back, Roberts called play on. Attacked left, right and centre, then comes back, hooks it back. That's a great kick by Roberts in his 150th game. There's a touch, it was touched, I think. The umpire coming in, and the ball has been said touched off the boot. So the situation is that North lead by 103 points. That was the margin they beat Fitzroy by in round 22 last year, and is their best ever against the Lions. So they're spot on at the moment. So 2 minutes remaining. See what happens now.
Jim McCarthy nearly made a meal of that in the full back line, but Fitzroy able to get it down past the 50-metre defensive area. And Roberts' kick was touched off the boot by Jared Malloy. So the central umpire officiating in that area was correct in telling the goal umpire that it was just a behind. It was a good kick through the two big posts, but touched off the boot. Anthony Stevens missing in action last year because of that knee injury. It certainly will be an important part for North Melbourne's quest for the 96 flag. Jason Danilchenko looks as though he's going to contest this ruck contest. Gets his left fist to it, not far enough to clear the congestion. Robert Scott out to it, Stevens. The ball still there. Left half forward for North Melbourne. Robert Scott tries to get it out. He does. Knocks it to the advantage of Scholl. Scholl's kick in towards full forward. At the back, Paxman and Clayton happy to take it over for a rush behind to North Melbourne. Now, you'll be happy, Bruce, won't you now? Is that 104 points the margin?
I wish I'd never mentioned it. It's driven me mad for a quarter.
McCarthy to kick it in.
To Clayton. 25-19 to 9-11. Clayton keeping it reasonably close to the boundary, but at half-back. Now Stevens, geez, played well tonight. Danilchenko pushing forward. Back. Anderson caught up. Armstrong, little one. Front spot taken by Rock, who's enjoying this, I think. He's kicked a couple and has gathered a lot of possessions in the second half. He's a pretty accurate kick, so he should go from about 30 metres out. So Rock to kick and miss the behind. But that's a terrific hat, isn't it? A lot of work gone into that one. So just sort of ticking it away now. 170 to 65, so plenty of percentage for North again tonight. Pike in the back pocket. Kicks to 3 Fitzroy players against Craig Scholl, but he was able to sort of hold it up. Johnson, quiet night. Handball over the top. Paxman under pressure. And it's going to be a bounce.
I mean, their offensive game is good North, but gee, their tackling and their pressure at the opposition when they got the ball is, I think, a hallmark of their game as well.